نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Dua or supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the core and essence of worship in Muslims' life. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam would make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even for the simplest things. His day-to-day activities and chores would all be surrounded with these du'as, with these formulae that he would recite, waking up, sleeping, eating and finishing eating, going out of the house, coming into the masjid. All of those different activities of the day, he would make supplication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these day-to-day du'as do not require anyone to sit in formal position, having wudu, facing qibla, and raising hand, and then none of that is required, because this is our day-to-day activity. Whereas when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would make a specific dua just to sit down or stand on the pulpit, make a specific dua for example, raining due to drought, or for some other special reasons, for someone passed away and making dua. In those situations, he would raise his hands and quite high up, to the point that Sayyidina Anas radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu mentioned that I could see the whiteness of the armpit of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is how high he would have raised and extended his both arms to supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the norm was that he would just raise, for example, after prayer or sitting and doing some other ma'mulat, and he's making some dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he would raise his hands, and then it would not be that high. Now, there are certain reports which confirm that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually would wipe his blessed face after making dua. And Imam Abu Dawood rahmatullah alayhi, he brought this hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas radhiyallahu ta'ala anhuma in his book, where he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would advise Sahaba when making dua, Sallallahu bi butuni akuffikum, seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help, or ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for anything that you need with the palms of your hands. وَلَا تَسْأَلُوهُ بِظُهُورِ, and do not do it with the dorsum or the back of your hands. فَإِذَا فَرَغْتُمْ, and when you finish, فَامْسَحُوا بِهَا وُجُوهَكُمْ, then wipe with these palms your faces. The hadith, according to some, has got some weakness, and likewise another hadith in the Sunan of Imam Tirmidhi rahmatullah alayhi, where Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrated that Kana Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to إِذَا رَفَعَ يَدَيْهِ فِي الدُّعَى, whenever he would raise his hands for dua, he would not لَمْ يَحُطَّهُمَا, he would not leave until يَمْسَحَ حَتَّى يَمْسَحَ بِهِمَا وَجْهَهُ, until he has wiped his face with it. This hadith is in Tirmidhi, and Imam Tirmidhi said the hadith has gone du'uf in it. But Imam Hafiz ibn Hajar Asqalani rahmatullah alayhi, he says in Bulugh al-Maram that وَلَهُ شَوَاهِدْ, there are a lot of supportive and corroborative evidence for this action of wiping the face after making dua. And all of that, these du'as together, make this hadith a hadith hasan, a good hadith which is worthy of taking rulings from. And Imam Nawawi rahmatullah alayhi in Sharh al-Muhadhab, he actually compiled 30 hadith on this matter, which is coming close to mutawatir, the massively transmitted hadith. Now, even if they're all weak, they support each other, and when this happens, it is called hasan li ghayri. The hadith become strong enough to be taken for making rulings. There are many other imams who reported similar ahadith. So, and it has been the practice for all four schools. It has been over the years. Never was a time when people would not consider it to be a done thing. There would be one or two voices in among Muslims that you would find that they question this. For example, you would see Imam Izz ibn Abd Salam rahmatullah alayhi, he did not condone this action. He would consider it to be innovation, thinking that the hadiths are, he perhaps hasn't gone through those hadiths as Imam Zarkashi then mentioned. He said that Ibn Abdus Salam's opinion, which he stated in his collection of fatwas, maintaining that wiping the face after supplication is an innovation, and that is it has been practiced only by innocent, suggests that he did not read the ahadith mentioned in this regard. This is Imam Zarkashi. He's criticizing him for that. And then he said, despite the weakness in the chains of transmission, they are strengthened by the different paths, the different routes of their transmission. There's so many of them that they strengthen each other. And that is why, as I said, all four Imam would allow, all four schools allow it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you would see Imam Suyuti, for example, writing about that, Yazid ibn Sa'id narrating this and then saying that it's perfectly fine. Likewise, Imam Bukhari in Adab al-Mufrad, he recorded through Abu Nu'aym that Ibn Umar and Ibn Zubayr used to wipe their faces with their hands after supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Abu Nu'aym said that I saw Ibn Umar and Ibn Zubayr wipe their faces with their palms after ending supplication. Abu Nu'aym Abu Wahab. And likewise, about Imam Hassan al-Basri, Imam Suyuti mentioned that he used to wipe his face with his hands after making supplication. Imam Faryabi said that Ishaq ibn Rahaway, the teacher of Imam Bukhari, informed us that the Mu'tamar ibn Sulaiman told him that I saw Abu Ka'ab, the author of Al-Harir. He raised his hands in supplication and wiped his face with them afterwards. So I told him, who did you see do this? He replied, Al-Hasan ibn Abu al-Hasan. This hadith is narrated with a fair chain of transmission. So, as I said, there are many, and majority of Ummah considered to be okay. So, to consider it or call it a bid'ah is really a big claim, and people should try and avoid such baseless claims, because they come up with a man-made definition, and based on that they say hadith is da'if, and then start attacking that hadith without looking at all the corroborative evidence, all the people following it, and then denouncing them, because they've equated a weak narration to rejected narration, which is completely baseless and on its own is an innovation. None of the Imams in the past would consider that, maybe one or two extreme positions, but majority of Ummah agreed about the fact that da'if hadith, unless it is very, very weak, da'if jiddan or mawdu, fabricated, it is on the side of sahih category. It is on the side of the worthy ahadith, which could be taken for ruling, and let alone for the meritorious, encouraging actions. And so no one considered it to be a fard or wajib, rather it is only a mustahab act to wipe on the face. And if someone doesn't want to do it, that's up to them. The barakah they hope to get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after making the dua on their hands, they would just wipe on their face to get the same barakah on their faces, and there's nothing wrong with that. May Allah give us tawfiq. And if someone doesn't want to do it, let them not do it. It's not fard or wajib, so why debate on such matters? Very, very strange. May Allah save us all from going into these silly debates and discussion and wasting the time of ummah, confusing people, rather than focusing on important and major issues where people are leaving faith, people are leaving their connection and spirituality. We're so bogged down with these little, very, very trivial issues. May Allah give us all the guidance and tawfiq to focus our efforts in the right path. May Allah give us tawfiq. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.